Hi, I'm Mark Kluchky. I work for a company called Farside HR. We have a product called Squadly. So formally, we're Squadly by Farside HR. And we're a bunch of HR execs who noticed over time there was a piece missing in companies and organizations where they weren't setting their goals, didn't give them stuff to focus on. So we're like, we're going to build a tool. Built a tool around goal alignment. So you can set your goals, you can prioritize, then you stay focused. And you use that to drive your company performance and individual performance. So as I said, we do use our own tool, and it's important we're distributed. We're in a few different locations. So when we can't sit down every morning, get together, do a little scrum, chat about what's going on. So we use our tool to set our goals, focus on those. We've got a part where we can make sure that we're talking, all the important stuff is tracked in one area, and it just keeps us focused on what we need to accomplish. We use Hangouts or I guess Google Meet now, and that's the way we communicate most of the time. We use Slack for quick little bits. We share news stories, interesting articles, talk a little bit about, hey, here's what's happening today, or here's what happened yesterday. And then when we all have time together, we'll do a Hangout and chat, catch up, do dev conversations. I have a client, we use Microsoft Teams, and we'll connect that way. I've actually done product support through Slack. The company we work with will have a Slack channel. Add us in as their Squadly channel, and people will ping me and I can answer questions that way. So it's funny, I certainly, I don't see myself as a techie. I was an HR person, but working remotely, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to go and be in that location anymore. We certainly do file sharing, so we have our Google Drive, and so we use that to share documents. And of course we use all the Google Suite for collaborating. I just love that. In the old days where you'd have, you'd work on something and you'd have to hit save, reload, and then see other people's comments. I love being able to work as someone's in San Francisco is working on a document and I'm watching on my screen as we're changing it. So that's super cool. We do, funny enough, I have a friend who talks about VPN and the importance of security. So we've installed a VPN tool at home, and also, of course, backups. We have a backup drive on my computer. We back up stuff online, and I also have a separate USB drive that we back up and unplug. So you can't be too safe, and and with kids at home who like to, I don't know what they download, and with grandparents who also download who knows what. We're pretty careful about watching what goes on, and I come from an industry where security was critical in the past, so we were trained well not to, hey, that link seems really strange, should I click on it? No, you will not click on that link. I do like the voice recognition, and I'd love to be able just to have a conversation with my computer as it records or inputs my thoughts into a document. But however, I'm also somewhat leery of having something always monitoring what I'm saying. But if there was, and I know this technology exists, it existed probably at the turn of the century where you could do voice to text, but to actually have it just seamless. As I'm speaking, it's putting it in. And actually, to be honest, what I really love is as I'm thinking it. I want to be connected to the data stream at some point. And I know there's all kinds of concerns about that, but that would be cool to me, just to be able to connect it to the data stream. Like, think about it, and boom, off it goes. Or when the kids ask me that question about, hey, Dad, I'm like, let me think for a sec. Pull it off the data stream, done. Here's the answer, kids. So I have recently switched over to Android. Gave up on my Apple. My son, being a techie, he's like, Dad, you got to go to Android. You can do so much more stuff with it. And I do enjoy, I was always worried about how difficult it would be to switch from Apple to Android. Easy to do and seamless, and the fact that all my stuff is on Google now, it just, Gmail was just there. It just seems so much, it integrates with my whole ecosystem. In terms of what I use at home, PC. So I always thought about trying to use a Mac, and we did get one MacBook to try, but with Google kind of integrating into everything, it just seems so easy just to have a PC and just go with that. Now, I don't know if I'll always stay with Windows. I've been encouraged to try Linux and different types of platforms, so we'll see. I do like to experiment, but I'm not as handy as my kids are with technology. I kid about goals and setting them, but it's critical. I gave a talk last week about the importance of goal setting. There's all kinds of articles that are out there. HR wants to go, hey, get rid of the annual performance review. Okay, well, what are you going to base it on? Set your goals and have conversations all the time around those. And that's how we built Squadly.